If you could tell Reddit to shut the heck up about one thing forever, what would it be? I expected to get downvoted for this, but lists thing that everyone likes will upvote. This is going to get buried, but his top comment and gets gold, and then, wow gold, thanks internet stranger, double quote, edit, wow gol crap. We should copy paste this thread to our museum of Reddit. It's pretty much a list of every Reddit meme and circular jerk ever. This sort of thing happens every couple months. Everyone purges their built-up hatred for the other users in the site and everyone feels a little better. This thread just has the added crap of the last couple months since the last one blew up. In places like our pics when people say wow this sub is really going downhill. I've been around these parts for a long time now and people have been saying that the entire time. The content isn't magically worse. It was never that great to begin with. Why is this in our funny it ain't funny I'm the funniest guy around. How terribly Redditors treat each other when they have different opinions. How the second a disagreement begins the point of finding out the truth is abandoned in the interest of being right and winning. It gets pretty disgusting how some Redditors can treat each other. I agree, I've only been on here for a few months, but I made the mistake of questioning whether self-driving cars were a necessary invention. You'd think I had personally insulted some of the people that responded. I was called a psychopath because, obviously, I want people to die from traffic accidents since I'm not 100% on board with self-driving cars. I'm still a bit bitter about it. Celebrity worship and how it's ruining America. All these complaints about how ridiculous and useless Kim Kardashian are only serving to keep her relevant. Also, this isn't a new phenomenon. People keep talking about the very thing they claim to want to disappear. Here's a novel idea. Just stop talking about her instead of constantly complaining about it. How close-minded so many Redditors are, but they think they're not. You have to delicately spoon-feed any information that goes against popular opinion or get downvoted to heck. That and how they believe everyone agrees with them and then when they run into someone that doesn't they must be the only person. I've seen so many Redditors that see a protest or law or something and say I don't understand how this can happen when literally no one agrees with it. Obviously someone somewhere agrees with it for it to get there in the first place. And someone still agrees with it since it is still there. One time I do remember someone saying something about a protest that happened in Canada. He said something like the amount of people here was so underwhelming that all Canadians must be uninformed or apathetic at best. And that got on my nerves because he didn't even want to admit that there were people who agreed with the bill that the protest was about. I said as much. Then 2 or 3 days later he links me an article that came out that day with public pollings. And a minority said they agreed with it. A very small minority said they did not know, and the rest was split between being against it or being for it just with more oversight added to it. He literally linked me something that proved my point, and even if the poll came back 100% against it, it would still prove my point that he made a comment about all Canadians before those poll numbers were even published. Guys, look at this guy who parked like an butthole. What a freaking C, let's kill him. I mean, I get it. People park bad. But it's such an easy karma grab on this site. It's honestly like the most mild thing ever. Half the time it's a parking lot with 50 open spots and a picture if a guy slightly tilted in one of them. Oh the humanity. That car isn't perfectly straight. Eugenics. AKA they think there should be a breeding license just like a driving license. All eugenicists on Reddit imagine themselves as part of the upper crust. Yet I can guarantee you that at least 50% of Redditors are below average. It's even better when those same people don't like the government telling them they can't smoke pot, but somehow thinking the government picking who can have kids is a-okay. At this point it'd probably be vaccines. We get it. Anti-vaxxers are pants on head retarded. There are precisely 0 of them here. Let's move on already. I'd like all of Reddit to shut the frick up with the nonsensical comments. If you've ever paid attention to a long string of comments it just dissolves into stupid puns and inside jokes. Yup, it's like I'm reading a conversation where all the participants had seizures at the same time and continued typing. Rape hoaxes. Yes, it sucks and should be punished, but if you went by what you saw on Reddit, you would think there is an epidemic of rape hoaxes, while actual rape is a mild nuisance. Reddit's freaking hard on for engineers and the like. Look, I am in school for engineering and it's not easy. This is the place I come to get away from engineering and all that. It's the last place I want to see someone talking about it. Feminism. Well, their idea of feminism. For some reason the average Redditor has decided that bull's Tumblr feminism is perfectly representative of actual, academic, real-world feminism. So they attack any all feminists or feminist ideas based on this idiotic strawman they've constructed. For the record, I'd also prefer to never hear any Tumblr feminists spout off ever again. Being a feminist, it freaking sucks. I say I'm a feminist on Reddit, and suddenly I beat my boyfriend into submission with my protest sign and my shaved head. The reality is we're just equal, so talk like adults. Neither demeans the other. We both support each other. I also support Planned Parenthood. And no, not because of abortions. They do a lot of good on educating the community and providing low-cost sexual health services for both men and women. But all that stuff is boring, so Reddit just hits the downvote. Pointless memes and in-jokes. Pro tip: if a subreddit often annoys you, there's usually a more serious albeit lesser known subreddit where you're more unlikely to get memed or reposted, Edgar Gallifrey instead of our Dr. Ho, and it's generally a good idea to unsubscribe to subs like our funny weight loss before after pics that escape our progress pics. Not that I particularly dislike those people or whatnot, good for them, seriously. But whenever they post on our pics, it gets real messy. There will always be that one person that says, still fat, or, still ugly. Then a bunch of people will come and white knight it for OP. It turns into petty stuff, and the Reddit community is far better than that. No, it isn't. Celebrities. For how often they claim to not care, they sure do never shut the frick up about Jennifer Lawrence or whoever the heck else is popular. I'd love it if everyone shut the heck up about their pet peeves. I mean that in the direct sense of that term. So many Redditors go out of their way to find and catalog the things that annoy them, and it results in people going off the deep end on witch-hunts and paranoid rants. Ask the people of Tumblr in action and they'll tell you that there is a massive SJW movement there that's a majority of the users, but they can't produce a single shred of evidence. The most anyone has provided is a claim that the worst things got hundreds of thousands of notes. No breakdown of whether those notes were positive or negative. No math done relative to the total population, etc. 500,000 positive affirmations of something would represent 0.21% of Tumblr's 240 million users' accounts. That sort of behavior is mirrored across a dozen subreddits causes, hunting SJWs, hunting pro or anti-gamergators, SR says, etc. What's worse is both opposing sides of these non-issues accuse each other of exactly the same bad behavior that all of them do. You know what my pet peeve is? Tarrying. Like when I take the kids to the library, I'll say to them, kids, don't tarry, we have other errands. But they tarry near the manga. I really don't appreciate it. Or my wife will go to Target, and she does pretty well until we get to the housewares section, and then she'll tarry. I always say, honey, please don't tarry, we have other errands. But she'll tarry, and I really don't appreciate it. She once tarried long and we were tardy. I certainly didn't appreciate that very much, I can tell you. If Reddit were to be used as the sole source of information on society, you'd think that you couldn't turn a corner on a street as a white male without being attacked by a rabid feminist who thinks the patriarchy is oppressing them. I've never even encountered someone I would consider a feminist by the stereotypical standard, let alone the monstrosities that Reddit seems to believe are a massive problem. Seriously, it's like they've only got old stereotypes that they heard secondhand to work off of. I have a lot of things I find flawed about modern feminism. No movement is perfect, but I just won't discuss them when the other guys posting act like a feminist is, like, a mythical sea creature that rips ships apart, sending men to their doom. The red pill bulls. The lack of understanding of how dating works or how attraction works. Ugly people date, short people date, and weird people date. You don't have a girlfriend because you want to date a model or have no idea how to court someone. And guess what? Not all girls find the same guy attractive. Some like chubby guys, skinny guys, masculine guys, feminine guys, ripped guys, long hair, short hair, etc. I like the kind who treat me like a human being capable of free thought. No person with common sense or self-respect would date somebody who openly believes all women, or men, think and desire the same things. Sorry but true. When people start their submissions, people of Reddit. 1. We know where we are and are mostly people. 2. You are not on a soapbox and are rallying us to rebel against our captors. Circumcision. I like my penis. Please stop trying to shame me for being circumcised. I'm happy with my situation. You uncut folk are happy with your situation. Can't we all just get along? This goes the other way just as badly. Can't talk about circumcision on here without someone saying how disgusting an uncircumcised penis is. Vaccines. Frick off already. 99% of the people are smart enough to get their kids vaccinated and the other 1% isn't listening to you anyhow. Dead horse is dead already. Repost bitching, specifically in ROS credit. Every time I see a post, someone somewhere is bitching that this question was asked 8 months ago at a certain time. Just because you spend every waking minute on Reddit doesn't mean everyone else does. And every day more people join in on this site, so there's always going to be different stories, opinions in the thread than last time. If you truly can't stop your Cheeto dust covered fingers from hitting the keyboard in nerd rage, then I suggest posting the link to the other thread, and say, hey, if you want to read more on the topic, check this out. At least then you'll be somewhat useful to other people. Women. I'm tired of hearing about crappy girlfriends, women firefighters who don't pass tests, fat women, hot women, all of it. Reddit shows its demographic hard in all of these posts, and the conversation threads are littered with juvenile rantings. Want a post on the front page? Post a story about a rape accuser who lied. Reddit loves nothing more than to play the victim in a man versus woman fight. I think there should be a stupidity limit for those posting on till. I am really tired of posts like this. Till bagels are made of bread. Yelling at people who post kitten pics to get their pet fixed. Why this seems to happen 10x more for kitten pics than puppy pics, I have no idea. Any goddamn politician, for better or for worse. I remember when every goddamn post was about Ron Paul as the second coming of Christ. But now he's just a Republican diehard. Then it was Obama. He was the chosen one. Now he's Reddit's new punching bag. This election cycle it's Bernie Sanders. People will never learn. No politician will be everything you want them to be. And every popular politician that is literally Hitler probably has something you would agree with if you would stop rage circle joking. Not all Republicans are idiots that just haven't been enlightened yet. SJWs. I've never seen these mythical monsters anywhere outside of cherubic Tumblr blogs. And the term is now used to describe anyone with an ounce of empathy, or anyone who complains about a racist, sexist, etc. joke. It's basically a term used on Reddit to dismiss anyone's argument on a subject. Comcast. We get it. They're bad. Just shut the frick up about it. The only thing worse than Comcast is seeing people on Reddit be about it 24/7. Dude, you just reposted a complaint about people complaining about Comcast. CrossFit. The only place I hear about CrossFit is on Reddit. Nowhere else. Plus I bet half the people who keep banging on about how bad CrossFit is don't do any form of fitness for themselves. Don't get me wrong. I'm not defending CrossFit. There's just much more important things to hate on. The difference between OCD and OCPD. For some reason, it has become a trend on Reddit to be easily offended about OCD. Every time someone says they're OCD about something, Redditors jump down their throat and scream about how OCPD is not the same thing, and how it's disrespectful to people with OCD, yada yada yada. Yet you never see Redditors react the same way when someone similarly says they are blind, starving, or lame, or when someone says that something is a cancer of a particular subreddit. Those two are real disorders, conditions, or things that actually affect people in very serious ways. So why the difference? If you don't get offended by those two, kindly stop with the fake offense you took to someone using the term OCD in the same way. I don't disagree with you, but I think that most people understand that actually being blind, starving, having cancer, etc. are serious conditions. I don't think most people understand OCD, OCPD, depression, and other mental disorders as well. Their attempts at humor, that's one thing people can shut up about forever. Most of you are not funny or as funny as you think you are. I'm tired of seeing anything without a serious tag being bombed to heck with dozens upon dozens upon dozens of upvoted jokes that make dad jokes look like professional work. Zero effort, on the same level of that's what she said. Heck, a tired pun you've heard 1,000,000 times is apparently the bee's freaking knees. Reddit. A lot of you are corny as heck and it wouldn't be so bad if it didn't relentlessly fill up a thread with your need for upvotes, detracted from actual discussion, or be the only thing in an otherwise empty thread. It's sadly one of the site's major flaws. 5-word Ask Reddit threads. They are my irrational pet peeve. Example. A murderer has a gun to your head and says you can only say 5 words. What would you say to make him laugh? Repeat for every possible variation like a goddamn Mad Lib and you have a Reddit threads filled with boring answers to a boring question. Then some idiot sees it on the front page and asks their 5-word Reddit question. Repeat until people get bored again. It happens every few months. It works better as a bar question than an Ask Reddit question, as a social tool for getting a discussion going. The question and answers are irrelevant and isn't really worthy of asking in any other setting. Fat people. I don't care how they look. You shouldn't care about how they look. Nobody should care how they look. They want to keep the weight. Let them. They want to lose it. Crap, let them. A man woman on the heavier side can't post a picture on here without a bunch of fricks complaining about their weight or telling them how disgusting, unhealthy, unattractive act they look. I'm pretty sure the ones complaining are the disgusting looking ones themselves. Tumblr. Just don't go there. Problem solved. I'm active on Tumblr and Reddit and honestly the Tumblr versus Reddit fights complaints are hilarious. It's like no one realizes they're two sides of the same coin. Tumblr is just like Reddit. You need to tailor what you're subscribed to get a decent experience out of it. Seriously, there is so much good pee on Tumblr, and so many great webcomics. I feel like these Tumblr in action buttholes are specifically searching out the thing that annoys them and then dragging them out into the light, screaming, "Look how stupid this is," and the rest of us are saying, "Yeah, we know. Why are you wasting our time with it while we masturbate to bondage fashion shoots?" Complaining about reposts. I don't care about reposts. What I hate is that crap where, however long later, the reposter is blatantly lying. They could change up the title and be upfront, but instead the title says something like "My girlfriend got to feed this cute wild monkey." Then they comment through the post to keep up the rouse. I just hate the lying part because someone posted that originally, and it getting reposted isn't as big of a deal as telling everyone it's your girlfriend, or whatever other lie. Also that thing where the reposter promises to deliver on requests. It wasn't their original content, but they are gonna not only keep lying but promising more content that they can't deliver. It would at least be respectable to give the original poster some credit. TLDR. Not about the repost, but how it's done. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.